This tale that I bring you was written by Sugarsawd from Reddit.com. It is entitled, She Will Always Find You No Matter Where You Hide. My wife Sarah and I decided it was better if we moved to the countryside with our family after the news reports of the attacks got more numerous. We had 2 young children and we wanted to keep them both safe. We stockpiled food and water as we didn't know how long we would be trapped here until it was safe to leave. We told our sons that it was all a big game as we didn't want to frighten them. We found some old board games, which we began to play because it was a good way of distracting everyone from what was happening outside. We had been in our new home less than a month when we were woken by screams from one of the nearby houses. We quickly hid the children and tried to barricade all the entrances. I looked out one of the upstairs windows and could see that the building across the street was on fire, and there appeared to be someone trapped on the top floor. Sarah screamed as the hammering on the outside of the building commenced. The noise was ear-splitting, and it sounded like there were thousands of them outside. I stared around in shock as the building seemed to be moving. I ran back downstairs to comfort Sarah, as I knew what was coming. I jumped backwards as the living room smashed in by what looked like a tree stump. The creatures began piling in through the window, and it didn't seem to faze them as the glass flashed into their flesh. I was quickly overwhelmed and pinned to the ground as they had superior numbers. Sarah seemed to be fighting them off for a few moments, but one of them jumped onto her back, which momentarily distracted her, and she was then dragged downwards. The creature stopped making any noise and gazed toward the door as she walked in. She stood tall and regal, and her eyes were hypnotic. I tried to move as my sons were dragged in front of her. She gave them a reassuring smile before removing the pliers from her pockets. Neither of my sons resisted as she pulled out the last of their baby teeth. My sons' eyes went vacant, and they stood up and joined the rest of the feral children that worshipped her. I watched the tooth fairy swallow their teeth as she left with her ever-increasing army.